What does freedom look like for you? Is freedom for you like just having the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world? Is freedom for you like having the time freedom really to be able to spend that precious time with the ones that you love most, right? Being able to have that quality time with your children, with your husband. Is freedom for you not having to tell your children no to something that they desire because you just don't have the finances to afford it? What does freedom truly look like for you? Hey Queen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Janelle Renee. I am your faithologist, certified faith-based business mindset coach. And on this channel, I speak all things faith. I encourage you to step out on faith, and I equipped you with the tools necessary to level up your life. And so if that is something that you are interested in, be sure to subscribe to this channel. As you can tell by the title of this video, we're going to be laying out the roadmap to freedom. And spoiler alert, that is faith. And I have an acronym for faith. And so I cannot wait to jump into it. But I have a question for you before we begin. What does freedom look like for you? Is freedom for you like just having the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world? Is freedom for you like having the time freedom really to be able to spend that precious time with the ones that you love most, right? Being able to have that quality time with your children, with your husband. What does freedom look like for you? Does it look like being able to have that financial freedom to be able to travel the world, right? Being able to build your dream house? Is it having the financial freedom to not have to worry about working for an entire month if you don't have to? Say, for instance, God forbid an emergency arises and you can't work for a month. Is it like having the financial freedom to not have to worry about bills being paid for an entire month if an unexpected emergency comes up? Does it look like being able to shop at Whole Foods without having to check the price? Is it being able to afford organic and healthy foods for your family without having to worry about the cost of it? Is it being able to just shop wherever you wanted to shop without having to check your account first to make sure you have enough in your balance to purchase what it is that you really want to purchase? Is freedom for you not having to tell your children no to something that they desire because you just don't have the finances to afford it? What does freedom truly look like for you? For me, it was all of the above. Truly, I really desired a life of freedom where I can work from home. I could spend more time with my family, with my husband, to be able to see my children. I was working literally 13-hour shifts. I was working nights. I was working weekends. I was working holidays. You name it. I was working early hours, late nights. And I was no longer fulfilled doing that. I really desired a life where I could work from home and be more present with my children, to be more present with my husband, to be able to work from my own creative genius, really being able to work for God and answer to God and not having to answer to anyone else, being able to work on my own terms, truly being able to work with my own time schedule, not having to rely on someone else to request time off, to be able to work when I wanted, to take off when I wanted, not having to answer to anyone else but God and my husband. And I really desired a life where I could just live on my own terms, I really desired that. A few years ago, I decided to take that leap of faith. I decided to step out on faith and begin to create the life that I envisioned for myself, the life that I desired for myself. I said enough is enough, and a big pivotal point in my life that allowed me to get the fire that I needed under my butt to really get the needle moving in my life was witnessing my mom work all my life. She literally worked. As a little girl, I would see my mom working nonstop. She inspired me so much to become a nurse. I would see her putting on her white stockings, slipping on her white skirt with her white top to go into work proudly as a nurse. But she worked and worked and worked and worked for years. And I just saw that my mom worked so much. She never took a vacation. She never did anything for herself. She pretty much, in my eyes, worked to pay bills. And I think so many of us get caught up in that life of just working to pay bills. Yes, nursing was my mom's purpose. Yes, nursing was my mom's passion, but she never did anything beyond that. And The moment my mom decided to retire, I was so excited. She decided to retire. Wow, it was 8 years ago. She decided to retire, and she was so excited because she was building her house in Jamaica. She was ready to just live a life of freedom. And I was so excited for her because I witnessed my mom work day in and day out, hard labor, bedside nursing for 30 plus years, decades. I've witnessed my mom work. And finally she said, you know what, Janelle, I'm retiring. And we were so excited. I was so excited. She was excited. And she was ready to just live her life of freedom. But you know what happened? Just months after her retiring, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And she fought for 7 long years. And I just lost my mom last year. But I say all that to say, the moment that I got the news that she was diagnosed was a pivotal moment in my life, because I was already feeling confined in my career. I was already feeling confined in my career, and I already knew that God was calling me for more. But after hearing my mom say that, I realized, time is precious. We don't have as much time as we think. And so by the grace of God, my mom was able to live another 7 years. And she fought long and hard. She was in remission for a few years. And then, the cancer came back, unfortunately. But she wasn't able to live fully because she always had this battle ahead of her. And I say all that to say, don't think that your future is promised. Don't think that you have all the time in the world to wait around to begin living the life of freedom that you desire. I want you to take a leap of faith and step out into the life of freedom that you desire for yourself and for your family. I want you to truly live a life of freedom. Live the life of freedom that Jesus came and died for you to live. And don't wait until you retire to truly live that life of freedom and fulfillment. Enjoy every moment of your life while you have the health and the strength to do so. So like I said, just a few short years ago, I decided to take that leap of faith and to leave my unfulfilling career behind and to truly live the life that God was calling me to live, a life of freedom and fulfillment. And I wanted to walk you through the leap of faith that I did to be able to live a life of just stagnation, a life of just feeling confined and stuck, to now living the life that I truly once just imagined living, truly living my dream life. And so let's jump into it. The letter F in faith is to form a relationship with God. Only your creator can tell you why he created you. And so it's so vital for you to form that relationship with your creator so that he can tell you the steps that he has for you. He can tell you the plans that he has for you. Proverbs 3:5 says, in all your ways, acknowledge God, and he will make your path straight. Right? And the Bible also tells us in Hebrews 11:7 that without faith, it is impossible to please God. It's so important to increase your faith in your creator. Get to know who he is. Get to know his character. Get to know his likeness. Get to know his faithfulness. Get to know who he is. And so this way your faith is increased. And you can begin to trust the plans that he has for your life. And so that is the letter F. You need to form your relationship with God. How do you form a relationship with God? It all begins with reading his word. That is the first thing I did on my journey. I literally just started reading a chapter of the Bible a day, just one chapter a day. And I was able to really understand who God is and who he called me to be. The more I learned about who God was, the more I learned about who I was. And It truly transformed my life. I also dedicated time with God. I was very intentional about setting time aside to really be able to dwell with him, be in his presence, and to eliminate the distractions around me and just focus in on God and having that intimate time with him. That quiet time with him every single day has really strengthened my relationship with him as well. If you need help strengthening your relationship with the Lord, I wrote an ebook, Issa Relationship, and I'm going to link it in the description. That is a game changer, and I'm sure it'll help you to build your relationship with God. All right, that is the F, form your relationship with God. Now, let us jump into the A. So the A in faith is to activate your imagination. God gave you your imagination for a reason, all right? And so we want to dream, not to escape our reality, but dream to create our reality. And so the Lord will give you deposits in your imagination. He will show you visions. He will show you your future if you ask him to. I really want you to take some time and just sit in quiet. Tune out distractions and just sit with God and ask him to show you a glimpse of yourself in the future. I want you to take some time and just imagine the life that you would want to live, the life of freedom that you desire, and take that time to just visualize it, imagine it. Remember, faith is a substance of things hoped for, with the evidence of things not seen, according to Hebrews 11:1. And so you have to be able to see it in your mind first before you actually see it manifest into the physical realm. You have to see the life that you desire. See yourself living this life. Imagine it, visualize it before it can actually be seen in the physical. That is what faith is. It's the evidence of things hoped for. You have to hope for this life that you see for yourself in the future. And believe it. Believe that it's already done in Jesus' name. All right. Believe that it's already done. Have faith for it. Okay. And so that is the A. You need to activate your imagination. Begin to see yourself the way you see yourself in the future. Ask God to show you yourself in the future. Ask him to show you your divine identity. Show you a snippet of the vision that he has for your life. All right. And so that is the A. Activate your imagination. Now let us jump into the I. So the I in faith is to incorporate a plan. You have to incorporate a plan. God is a God who does things decently and in order. And God has plans for your life, right? He tells us that in his word, Jeremiah 29:11. We know that the Bible tells us that God knows the plans that he has for your life, plans to prosper you, plans to give you a hope and a future. God knows the plans he has for your future. And so it's so important for you to have that intimate time with the Lord and sit with him and say, Lord, help me to see it. Help me to formulate a plan. Help me to incorporate a plan so that we can go forth. It's so important to take that time to plan with God. And so I wanted to bring this scripture that the Lord reminded me of in Luke 14:28, where it says, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? And the Lord just put that scripture on my heart because it's like, you have to plan ahead. You know what I mean? Like, yes, there is obviously a level of faith, but you have to have faith to plan. Have faith to plan and do things decently and in order. And you want to just sit, incorporate a plan with the Lord. And then you know what you're going to do after that? You're going to pray about that plan. Okay. You're going to ask God to fulfill the plan that he has for your life. Mark 11:24 says, therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. It's so important that after you write out this plan, you pray and you ask God to fulfill this plan in your life. All right. So that's the I, incorporate a plan. And now let us jump into the T. So the T in faith is to take action. All right. So now that you incorporated your plan, now it's time to take action on that plan. All right. And so if the Lord has called you to, let's say, start a business, right? I'll just use me for an example. He called me to transition from my calling into starting my kingdom business. And so what did I have to do? I had to research how to start a business. I had to start doing the steps, right? Taking action steps so that I can learn how to start a business. What were the steps that I needed to do? What's the investment that I had to do? I had to count the cost. When my husband and I were incorporating and building our faith-based apparel brand, F.A.I.T.H brand, we had to buy the garment, right? We had to buy the designs. We had to create the designs that we wanted to go on the t-shirts. We had to buy the t-shirts. We had to incorporate our business with the state. We had to start a business account. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things that we had to do. We had to take action. We had to start an Instagram account and start telling people that we were starting a new business, right? We had to create an online platform we had to learn all these things from scratch. We had to create a website. We had to create a website. We had to create a Shopify account. We had to take photos of our apparel. We had to get it up on the site. We had to tell everyone about it. Like, we had to do the steps. We had to take action. And so whatever the Lord has instructed you to do, you then want to take action on those things. So if the Lord is calling you to be an author and to write a book, you need to start writing a page a day. If the Lord is calling you to purchase a home, you have to start saving, start budgeting. If the Lord is calling you to move, right? He actually had my husband and I, we moved with our children, uprooted our lives. We had to sell our home. We had to start packing. If the Lord is calling you to move, you have to start packing. You have to start looking, house hunting. You know what I mean? So you have to take action on the plans that the Lord has for you. It's so important that whatever the Lord is calling you to do, that you are obedient to what God is telling you to do. All right. For you to receive the blessings of the Lord, it comes with obedience in taking action. Sometimes it will be scary, but it's important for you to step out on faith anyway. Allow your faith to overcome that fear and step out and take action into what God is calling you to do. All right. If he's calling you to build, you need to start building like Noah. If he's calling you to move, you need to start moving, right? Like Abraham. If he's calling you to speak, you have to just open your mouth and just start speaking, even if you don't feel like you're qualified, like Moses. If he's calling you to prophesy, you cannot run. You have to just prophesy and not act like Jonah. You have to do what the Lord is calling you to do. You have to be obedient and take action. All right. And so that is the T in faith, is take action. Now let us jump into the H. So the H in faith is to hold on to that vision. No matter what it looks like in the natural, no matter what it looks like around you, hold firm onto that vision that the Lord has given to you. Allow your faith to fuel the future of freedom that you see for yourself. Hold firm on that future of freedom that you see. Every time you close your eyes, you need to be envisioning that life that you desire for yourself, the life that God desires for you to have. All right. You need to hold firm to that, and don't allow the distractions from around you to get you off track, or to get you off course, or to cause you to doubt, or to slip into unbelief. You need to hold faith and hold firm on the vision that God has given to you, no matter what your circumstances look like. Faith is truly the roadmap to the life of freedom you desire. Now, let us recap. The F in faith is to form your relationship with God. The A in faith is to activate your imagination. The I in faith is to incorporate a plan. The T in faith is to take action. The H in faith is to hold on to that vision. And before I go, I want to leave you with the faith formula. The faith formula is belief plus hope times action minus facts equals faith. So you have to believe. You have to first believe. You have to have hope in what you're believing God for. You have to take action, because we know faith without works is dead. You have to take action minus the facts. Okay. Minus the facts. Don't look at the facts around you. And this is what the faith formula is. So I pray that this video has truly been a blessing to you. I pray that it inspires you to really take a leap of faith into the life of freedom you desire for yourself. And I'm going to just tell you, just as God told me, put one foot in front of the other, step out on faith, and trust God for the next step. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.